Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And we are back today with Sister Wives, Season 20, Episode 17. This is the one-on-one Part 2. So before we dive into the show, because I'm very confused. I mean, I don't know if I'm confused or they've made me more confused. I don't know. But a couple things. So one thing is, we started a YouTube channel, and if you are an avid YouTube fan of ours, you've probably seen that we're not posting videos anymore. For various reasons, we decided to stop doing that. Again, I think, we're Gen Xers and we don't quite understand the excitement of wanting to watch the two of us talk. We don't get it. So, but it's, I'm not going to bore everyone to tears about all the intricate reasons why we stopped. We've just had a really difficult year combined with some other things that we just felt like we had to stop. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure to have, someone watching you for an hour, and you got to think about what you're doing with your hands and your hair and, whatever else. It's too much pressure right now.
Yeah. And I'm a wiggly worm, and I move a lot, and I touch my hair a lot, and I know it annoys people, and our glasses glare, and, we wear too much black.
Oh, these are the complaints we get.
Well, so, one person's like, it looks like you guys are going to a funeral. I'm like, yeah, all of my clothes are black.
We are.
We are tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean,
if you want to know how our year's been, tomorrow we're going to a funeral.
Yeah, that's what the whole point is, like the things that people will say and pick you apart. It's like, you know what? This is a podcast. And it's supposed to be listened to. It's supposed to be, you listen to us when you're doing the dishes or you're commuting or whatever, and you're just listening. We're not performers. We're not putting on a show. Like, we're not going to glam ourselves up and be in a studio and put on a show. So that's not really what we're about. So for now, just listen.
Yes. And if you want to watch a podcast on YouTube, you can go to Jen Mess with Tess.
There you go.
Listen, last week I ugly cried on my show. I mean, again. So listen, if you want to see that, that's some vulnerability right there. I ugly cried talking about Dad. So I'm not going to make it through.
Okay, well.
Yes. Anyway. All right. So before we dive into this episode, Brooke, you say you have some Sister Wives hot off the presses gossip.
Well, I don't know if it's gossip, but it's in the news. Sister Wives in the news. So apparently someone got a hold of the paperwork. Kody and Robyn just took out a $750,000 HELOC.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. So they have that much equity in the place.
Apparently.
And I think that's all their equity, if you want to know my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Well, and the thing is, generally people don't go through the trouble of taking out a HELOC unless they intend to use it. I mean, I guess you could get it because the interest rates are low or something, and then just have it. But
I've had a few clients in the past, who were very panicked about, I mean, this woman was a single mother and she had lost her job, and she was and she had money, but she was very nervous about what was going on in the world and the administration. Right. And she was like, she took out a HELOC, which I think is very smart, right? The money is right there. And
right. And, so you qualify, like if you lose your job, you want to be able to get it while you still have a paycheck.
So I can see it's a good strategy if you're worried about money in the economy. Usually people might take like 50,000, 100,000 and, hope that they don't have to touch it. 750 is a lot of money. Like that means, to me, I think that means that they're going to reinvest it into the house, right? What are you going to do with $750,000?
Maybe they're going to work on the house. Maybe Kody needs it to pay off Meri, because we find out in this episode, I think I'm so confused by the state of their finances, but it sounds like they did not resolve Meri's claims that he owed her $60,000, and there's a dispute about that. So maybe that came to a conclusion. He has to pay her off, and then remember Christine and the child support, and maybe he's got some bills to pay.
Yeah, maybe Special Forces didn't pay him what we thought it paid him. But again, neither of you work. Neither of you have a job. Neither of you have a W-2. So, I mean.
Yeah. And they like to spend.
Yes.
They love to spend. They have so much crap.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Did you see all the people like on TikTok talking about the 2 Yeti coolers, they brought with them, those expensive Yeti coolers? And it's like, why do you need 2 for a 2-hour drive?
They each have their own coolers. Maybe Kody, you know what? More and more I'm realizing, I guess people are doing more of this like biohacking and like because everyone's trying to stay young forever. Which I understand, like you physically want to feel good, but at the same time, like, God, I don't, it just seems like a lot of work. But anywho, do you think that they have a bunch of like protein and pills and stuff that needs to be refrigerated?
Possibly he's got, his liquid testosterone or whatever he's got to shoot up.
Yeah.
And then he has a very strict diet. I think he might be gluten-free and
he's gluten-free,
vegan, and I don't know what else. So he probably needs special foods, special medicines. 2 coolers worth, I guess.
Yeah, he's got to have a place for all of his lemons. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm thinking they both need a cooler. Like, are they both doing that? There's fish oil pills you have to refrigerate, that kind of thing. So,
yeah.
That's my theory. Okay, so that's one. That is some juicy information, Brooke. Okay, what's the other piece of news?
Okay, the other one is, cousin Mindy or niece Mindy, Robyn's niece. I don't know why all of a sudden she's talking, but she is like defending herself and Robyn, I guess. And she's saying that, she was there to watch the kids because, Robyn needed them to be taken care of while she filmed. And all the moms did, except for maybe Meri, who had, just one older child. But, the others had young kids too. And she said that TLC paid her.
Oh, okay.
And she didn't want to take on the other mom's kids because they had different parenting styles.
Well, yeah.
And I said, all moms except Meri had childcare paid by TLC and that they couldn't have done the show without her.
Okay.
So that's
all right.
That's Mindy. That. Do you want to spill something more juicy?
Yeah.
Gosh, she needs to write a book.
Yeah.
I mean, they better be nice to her, Kody and Robyn, or else she might go write a book because she's seen some stuff.
Oh, I'm sure she has.
She lived with them for a long time.
Okay. So this episode was so confusing And I know that we bitch and moan about this, and I don't mean to complain constantly, but like when you're trying to track something and take notes of something, it is so hard when it's Suki asked Kody, who asked Meri, who asked Janelle, and Janelle said to Kody about Meri, and you're constantly like, what? Who said what to whom? And it's just even watching it, you're confused, but then trying to write notes and make sense of it in your mind, it's even harder. And I somewhere towards the end, I just kind of stopped taking notes because I was so confused about, and maybe there's something deeply wrong with me that I don't understand, that I'm not a respectful person, or I don't care about marriage, that I don't understand why everyone is freaking out about Kody saying, I did love you.
Yeah, that's
to Christine. I don't understand I don't know why David's upset. I don't understand. I don't think I hate to agree with Kody. I don't think it's bro code at all. I don't think Robyn needed to be there. I mean, again, they grew up differently than we did, but at the same time, there's a little bit like, plus there's cameras everywhere. Like, if what is this whole thing with respect and what do you say and doing this and that, it's like, oh dear God, people, like if you're going to invite someone along, just invite them along and then let that be. And if they're going to talk, let them talk. And if they have an opinion, let them have an opinion. But you also can't get mad at what the other person's sharing because you're being invited along. I'm so confused.
I thought it was ridiculous. I mean, we can talk about it when we get there, but
I don't even know if I can because I didn't write anything. I was so perplexed.
Well,
by what is happening.
Let's just talk about it in general. So, so when Kody, I guess it really bothered David and Christine that Kody apologized for saying that he never loved her. And
yes,
okay, right?
Sorry, it was that, and the other one was that he wanted to apologize for saying that he wasn't attracted to her.
Okay. Well, along the same lines, here's the thing. We make fun of Kody's apology tour, but he didn't, he did apologize to her. He didn't have to. He did come and he did seem in that moment, I feel sincere, basically saying, look, it was ridiculous for me to say that I never loved you and that I was never attracted to you because that was not true. Because he did. And maybe he didn't like fall in love with her immediately, but he came to love her. He talked about how they had a sweet relationship. You know, these marriages are weird. You know, you get thrown in, you don't really know the person and, you know, she's a virgin and, you know, like all that awkwardness of it's not going to be just like true love and fantasy right from the start. Okay. But he stayed with her. He had children with her. He did love her. He was obviously attracted enough to her to have sex with her. Although in her book, she describes not great, but he was trying. I feel it was a sincere apology. Okay. What is wrong with that? Why is that so offensive? That, oh, you shouldn't have said that in front of my husband.
Yeah.
You know, like all of a sudden, Christine is like this prim and proper woman who, oh my gosh, you know, you're talking about these things in front of my husband. I mean, it's like, get over yourself, Christine. And you too, David. Kody is being very cool with David. He's, you know, he's being cool with both of them, quite frankly. What did they expect? It could have gone way worse.
Yes. There was this whole thing with, I will say that Kody was a little condescending about David at times where he's like, oh, he wanted to say something or, you know, David thinks that he knows everything or he knows me, but he doesn't really know me and he doesn't know plural marriage. And, Kody was putting in his digs as well. But yeah, it was just this whole thing about David saying it's bro code and you don't cross that line. And then it was like, it was all, he was saying that it was all about Kody and his agenda and nothing to do with getting to know David. Nothing in this discussion is of the best interest of the family, all of those things. And it's like, yeah, those things are true. Yeah, David, you're upset that his agenda wasn't your agenda. Because you two had an agenda too, or David had an agenda. You wanted to bring up the kids to Kody. So So, you know, what is, I don't know. It's just, I'm still perplexed. I don't understand. Like, yes, both of you had agendas. This was an awkward, weird thing. Again, I think I agree with you, David, that Kody does what Kody wants to do for Kody. I absolutely believe that. I think that, and I think he thinks that he needed to do these apologies. And I think maybe is that the part that's so insulting, is that this feeling of, you feel like you have to give me this, or you have to release me, or you have to do this for me, but you don't.
But Christine even said that, you know, she's over that. You know, she didn't need the apology, but you did agree to meet him. And you knew what it was about. You know, the producers told you, you know, what it's about and what's going to happen. And, you know, I'm sure some boundaries were set around it. So don't act like you didn't know what was happening. And I don't know, I would welcome that kind of apology, because it's like, people say things in the moment when they're mad. And even if you know it's not true, it sort of lingers in your head. And if someone comes to you 2 years later, whatever, 3 years later, and says, look, I didn't mean that, you know, what is wrong with that? Like, it would kind of close the circle, I think, you know, and here's the thing. I do think Kody does want to co-parent truly. And so he's trying to repair his relationship with her. And he thinks that this is going to help. And when it's just, Christine makes it all about her. Like, you know, oh, I didn't need that. And she was uncomfortable with it. And, you know, she didn't think that, well, you know, maybe this might help Kody's relationship with me, and then in turn Kody's relationship with his kids, because we all know Kody can't have a relationship with his kids if the relationship with the mom is not good. So, you know, big picture, I just think that they should have been, Christine and David should have been a little more gracious, I think.
Yeah, it just seems weird, especially now. Like, this is the hill you're going to die on. Like, it seemed like you guys were pretty cool at the restaurant and all of this other,
now,
you know, now why are we backtracking? I mean, again, I'm with them in the sense that the way Kody goes about things, you're kind of like, oh, dear God, Kody. But at the same time, he is who he is.
Right.
And I'm with you 100%. This is what I talk about at the Jen Mess with Tess. That, you know, there's a lot of when you say to someone, you hurt me, even if it was 20 years earlier or whatever it is, having that other person acknowledge, you know, I hurt you and I see you and I hear you. This is the whole no contact thing with kids and parents, and what kids are really looking for from their parents, not to agree with them, but to validate their experience, even if you don't see it that way. So that's really what it was. It was just about validating both sides. All they needed to do was validate the experience, take it for what it was, and move forward. So to me, I feel like you guys are protesting too much. Like, if you were so over him, I don't know if you would be this mad. And I think that you're mad about the kid stuff, and I hear you, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And you're not even defending the kids. There was another section here. I realized as I'm looking at my notes, maybe I did get a bit more. It was towards the end where when Kody started talking. So they ask Robyn, why weren't you there? And she says, well, this wasn't about me. And she says, well, Cody's enlightened enough to believe that he needed to tell Christine this information so she can heal. So she's on the party line. And then David says something like, well, if Robyn really wanted polygamy, then her sending Kody on his own doesn't make sense. So now this was like, oh, David, we're going down the weeds here. We're going down the weeds of stuff.
They're not in a polygamous relationship anymore.
Yeah.
So why would he need to bring his wife? It's not like that. I feel like David was looking for stuff David wants to be in the mix. He likes this. He's starting to enjoy his little 10 minutes of fame here, but
yeah,
I feel like he was looking for something to say about it.
Yeah. Or something to be mad about because there wasn't enough of other things to be mad about. I don't know. But then this is where Kody then talks about how I didn't break bro code. And then, David works in construction and then he goes into this, and that's where I lost my mind. I'm like, I don't know what you just said about construction and David and bro code. Like I've lost my mind. I've lost the plot.
Was he, I couldn't tell what the construction thing was.
I didn't
he
understand
trying to
that
say
either.
that because David's in construction, I took it as, well, he's in construction. He has a different language or a different, almost like putting him down, like you're a manual laborer. Okay. And I'm over here, Kody Brown with, deep thoughts, Mr. Spiritual, guru.
Yeah, look at me with my turquoise rings and my jewelry.
I go to Sedona, have spiritual experiences. I buy turquoise. I buy art. And David, he's just in construction. That's how I took it, was that he was putting him down. And also, what is bro code? Define bro code. I don't know what it is.
Well, because that's the whole thing. It's like, it's bro code. I mean, I can understand like you and your best friend, you're dating someone and then you break up and then your best friend starts dating them. That's bro code. Like, hello. I mean, and that's with women too. It's a little bit like, you wouldn't be thrilled if I took up with someone you once dated. There's a little bit of like sister code.
I might be. I don't know.
But like, there's a certain amount, there's that idea of it. But it's like, you two aren't friends.
Right.
So you're not bros.
Right. You're not bros.
So
you're don't like in-laws or something.
I don't see what the code is here of what he did. And
he's truly stepfather. I mean, they're not bros. And then the only reason for them to really, make an effort to get along and all that kind of stuff is not just for Truly, but all the kids. I mean, maybe someday, God willing, hopefully they could all be in an event together, and it's like, blended families or, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know who started bro code first, but it's not applicable here.
I feel like, I think David started the whole bro code thing. I think he did. But
all right. I'm not liking David in this episode.
I know. And I'm a defender of David, and hard. David, you really upset me because this is why are you trying to fight this?
He's stirring the pot. And it's like, just shut up. You're just here. You know what? You're here for moral support for Christine. You are not here. He really shouldn't. Even though everyone loved that he brought up the thing about the children, he really shouldn't have. It's, it's really not his business. It's really not. And that takes balls to show up and, bring up this thing that is the hugest, sore spot in the family. I mean, he just should have just shut up and just, whatever.
And I also kind of felt like, what was Kody to do? So Kody was just to invite Christine and David. I think he was thinking that he was being respectful. And then if he didn't have David, they would be criticizing that. And if he brought Robyn, they would be criticizing that. Yeah. Like, I do think they put him in this corner of no matter how he approached it, it wasn't going to be right. But again, it kind of feels like the two of them have been working each other up into a frenzy, since that dinner. Because now with the tell-all, they're going at each other. And so maybe because she's not part of Coyote Pass, she's like, I got to have some drama. Have some drama. Because there really wasn't much else going on with her. What else
can she talk about? Yeah.
That's what happens when you're in a healthy marriage.
There's no drama.
There's very little to talk about.
I can't believe we just defended Kody. I'm going to write the date down. What date? On January.
Where are we now?
17th. We defended Kody Brown.
2026. We defended Kody. Okay. Put that in the permanent record. All right. So let's go back to the beginning because we started at the end. We go right back into the Coyote Pass. And I heard that. I'm like, oh, dear God, I thought we moved on from this.
I know.
I was like, oh, and this confidentiality clause. Now, one of our listeners who seems to have a lot of information, and she's one of our Patreon people, I saw that she wrote us either through Patreon or maybe on Instagram somewhere, but that the amount of money that Meri gave Robyn was $122,000. That it wasn't just like 60,000.
Because she said 60,000 from her home. So there was another 60,000.
Well, maybe this is what they're talking about. Maybe Meri put 122,000 in, and then the whole argument with Kody is, well, I'm married to you, so I get half of this. So now it's like, and so Meri's like, okay, okay, fine, 60,000 or 61,000. Give me my 61,000. So that's really that's what it sounds like what she's owed.
But then she was arguing that she should get it all because basically she made all of the house payments. Mm-hmm. She paid for everything in the house, and that Kody didn't really even live there.
Yeah, which I believe.
Yeah. And then he said, well, no, that wasn't the deal. It's half mine. And that was in our divorce decree. And it's like, dude, that was not in your divorce decree. What are you talking about? When you guys had that paper shuffle, there's no way that you were dividing assets because it's just a paper shuffle.
Yeah.
And at the time, Kody would not have given up. At that time, they were still acting like they were, a functioning marriage or whatever, sort of, but not really. He never would have given her half of the, on title to or whatever. I just didn't believe that. I didn't believe that there was any divorce decree that said that house was.
He made up a lot. He makes up a lot of crapola that's not really true. But
because I think the 122,000, that sounds familiar.
And
wasn't that a number that Robyn put out? And she said that was the total of, because Janelle put in money too. Mm-hmm. So maybe that was the total of Janelle and Meri.
Maybe. But the other thing too is if Meri's argument, which I think is a good one, though you don't have any legal, you don't have any legal standing, which is I provided an investment to you, and then now my $60,000 is now worth $120,000, and I'm not getting any part of that.
Right.
So I can understand that part of it too. But again, this shows you how screwed you get when you have all of this paper shuffling, money shuffling stuff and not keeping track of it. It's like, this is what happens.
Yeah. And there's nothing in writing. There are no contracts because, we're the family. Like,
we would never want to screw each other over.
Exactly. And then it also seemed as though Janelle did get paid off because her proceeds from Vegas went into Robyn as well. And it sounds like she got paid back. And he had said in several episodes ago that he basically, made a deal with Janelle like a while ago. And they were square. And so Janelle got paid back. And this is where I started to see, and it started to heat up about all these accusations between Kody and Meri. He is intentionally trying to wear her down.
Yeah.
Trying to deliberately probably screw her over at worst, but at best, string her along, piss her off, make this take as long as possible, all that kind of stuff. Because he really just, he really doesn't like her, I mean,
he has a lot of anger towards her. One thing that I thought was interesting was, did you notice the wording that Kody used, which is, so when Janelle and Meri gifted Robyn the money from the house, he said gifted 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Every time they talked about the money, it was never give, it was gifted. And I was like, it's an interesting, like some lawyer or someone told you to use the word gifted, because you're really trying to sell this to us that they did this out of the bottom of their hearts.
Right.
That they gifted you and Robyn this money. And he kept saying Robyn.
Right.
But like, it was the two of you.
Because Robyn needed an estate.
Yes.
And that's what Kody said when Janelle said, hey, I'll give you this, 50, 60 grand or whatever, but don't you think I should be on title? Mm-hmm. And he said, no, because it's very important that Robyn has her estate, and she had to be safely kept, all that kind of stuff. This is all making sense now, coming together, is that he just did a number on them at the time.
And probably told them, probably lied and says, we will work on your estate next.
Next, right. You're next.
Right after this, we're going to work on your estate. And then it became COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And then, everything started to fall apart. And I'm sure Kody went in circles about it.
Yeah. And even before COVID, they couldn't even agree on, well, first he tried to sell them on the one house thing. And then everyone said no. And then they couldn't even agree which lot they wanted to build on. They didn't have any money. It just was, it was never going to happen anyway.
Yeah. So then there's this whole thing about why wouldn't Meri sign the confidentiality? Why wouldn't Meri sign this agreement? And so this then becomes, so Robyn, I guess, went into the bathroom and did a few lines. She got some coffee in her system. She decided not to take her anti-anxiety meds. I don't know. She stopped taking the Ativan and she woke the fuck up. She woke up. She was awake now. And so just to kind of summarize what this whole part of this story is, from my understanding, is that Robyn's saying, I'm the hero. I came in and Kody and Janelle wanted to do a backdoor deal to cut Meri out. And I said, that's a bunch of bull crap. And I then decided that I was not going to let anybody, take advantage of Meri. And so there seems to be, there's these different issues with money. One is the money that Meri put into Robyn's original house. But Robyn's saying that another thing that didn't get brought up was that Robyn and Kody apparently put money into Coyote Pass. But Meri didn't want to honor that. And I would have loved, what does that mean? You put money into Coyote Pass?
Right. Where are the receipts?
Meaning you bought that blue paint and you guys all went out there and painted those things?
Cistern, that big old cistern that they put in the ground, water storage thing.
So these things that we did. So there's this argument about that. Janelle keeps saying that Robyn came in 2 or 3 days before everything was going to close and she saw this as a power play. And Robyn's like, no, this wasn't a power play. They had this piece of paper the whole time. And I'm like, then why wouldn't Janelle have seen it? And then Suki asks, Robyn, well, then why would Janelle call this a power play? And Robyn's like, because she got caught backstabbing Meri. I guess, I don't know.
What?
Hold on. This is what she said. And this is, again, a language thing. Because she got caught backstabbing Meri. I guess, I don't know. This is what she does when I don't know. It's just what she's doing. So I think in this moment in time, this is the two faces of Robyn were kind of, if you want to talk about therapy and shadow work, the two anima and anime of Robyn connected in this moment, because you saw a little bit of she was backstabbed. You see that. I don't know. She stops herself.
She puts the word out there and then says, but I don't know.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's interesting. It's very much like this. Are you saying too much? And now it's oh no, people, I'm not supposed to be bitchy and gossipy and mean girl games.
Right.
I'm not supposed to be playing these kinds of games. So am I getting caught? Or is this manipulation and I'm going to drop these things in, back up, drop these things in, back up. I was like, oh, that's very calculated. Yeah. It felt very,
that's what it seemed like to me, the manipulation, dropping a word and then backing off. And also she was setting herself up to be the hero of this story.
Yeah.
If it weren't for her, Meri would have gotten completely screwed. And she was telling Kody, oh, you can't do this to her. You can't do this to her. And then Suki asked her, well, did you ever tell Meri or warn her?
Yeah.
And she's like, no. She's like, I did what I could. I did what I could with Kody, but she said she couldn't go to Meri because
it's loyalty to Kody. That's her argument, was that, and Robyn lost her mind when Suki brought this up of well, why wouldn't you say something to Meri? What? Are you serious? Are you serious? I can't believe you're asking me this. But I think when I finally parsed it out, I think what she was saying was that, listen, Kody's my husband and I got to live with him. And I knew that if I went to him and told him this, that it would create a lot of problems for me and that I would be in trouble because I would be disloyal. And so therefore, you know, and quite frankly, I've been hearing Meri talk crap about me, which I can understand. I mean, again, Robyn's delusional. She thought they were friends. And then I think she is very surprised to hear that Meri doesn't really like her all that much and has these feelings about her. So I think she saw that in the news, saw that on the show and was like, well, F you. Then why am I going to go out of my way and make my life more difficult for me if you're,
to help
help you. Again, I think the truth is somewhere in between all of this, where I don't think that Robyn's this benevolent, but I don't know. I mean, I maintain that I think a lot of this was just talk, because there was it was just Janelle and Kody talking. And I think it was just Kody talking to Robyn about what he wanted to do. I don't think he was ever going to do it. I don't think he had a legal grounds to do it. Right? I mean, I don't. There was no way they were going to be able to, and he admits that there's no way they were going to be able to do it. I really.
So why do we keep talking about it? We've been talking about it for forever about how they were going to pull the rug out from under Meri, and Janelle was sort of like ha ha ha, and I think they were literally just talking.
That's why I'm saying they're both right. Psych Legal Pop. We'll be back after these messages.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
They're like, Janelle's like, there is no backdoor deal. I believe that because in her mind, she was joking. Kody sees it that way because Janelle said that to him. And I think that he's the one that kind of considered it for a little bit and thought about it and was talking to Robyn about it, then got such a reaction from her because she's now thinking, and as we learned later on, oh shit, who did I marry? And I'm the only one left. Oh crap.
Right. What's going to happen to me? Am I going to get cut out? Cut out of this? Yeah.
He's fine cutting, he's willing to cut Meri out. So he's going to cut me out. She has this kind of, this is not, this isn't good. So she then feels like, okay, I have to defend Meri, which is again, legally the only thing that you guys could have done was to work all this stuff out. And so again, it's just, that's why they need to be on the couch together. Like we could have done this in one part.
Right.
You know what? Get me on that couch with those people. I would have gone through all of this.
It's just cross talking. And Suki has to deliver okay, now Meri said this. What do you think?
Yes.
About that? And then get that reaction and then go back. Well, Kody said this. What do you think about that? Yeah. And another thing that Robyn said in terms of Meri, she said that maybe if her and Meri's relationship would have been better, maybe she would have said something to her. And I felt like that's just another dig at Meri. Like, well, you kind of abandoned me. She still sees Meri as abandoning her, even though Kody abandoned her 15 years ago. It's just that whole thing. I don't know. I just can't bring myself to believe that Robyn was really trying to look out for Meri. I think Robyn is scared, like you said. Like he's watching what Kody's doing with these, and she brings up about how, way back when he promised her that, if she married him, he was not going to leave her in a bind, you know?
Yeah.
Because
I'd buy you a house down the street. I'd see your kids all the time.
Exactly. I'd
Yeah.
support you. And
I think she's witnessing all this. Yeah.
She'd already been left in a bind. I mean, again, God, I think I'm going to defend Robyn. So hold on.
First Kody, now Robyn.
I don't know what's wrong with me today. My hormones are out of whack or something. So, I think that, you know, she was young, was a young mother, and you know, had a bad marriage, and she was kind of left in a lurch, and so she knew how that felt, you know. And and so I think a lot of what she was looking for with Kody was security.
Yeah,
and he was providing that up until recently, when you know, really starting to kind of go off the rails. Although he's still loyal to her, he's still buying her this big home and buying her, you know, she's got all the art that she wants.
But I
mean,
think she's
taking care of her.
Yeah, but I think she is seeing the narcissism, the ego, all of that. I mean, she's seeing it full time now. She's seeing it to the extent of it. And, you know, again, she only knows Kody from being on, you know, their relationship started when they're on TV. I'm sure his ego is so much bigger than it was, you know, 15, 20 years ago. And so I think that's what she's seeing. And the other thing is that I think is interesting. Okay, I have a couple different thoughts. My first thought is, how do they film this show? Because then I'm thinking, is poor Suki running around from room to room? Is that why they need such a big house? Because it's a little bit like...
Is she in different rooms when she's talking to them?
I don't know. I think they're all in the same room. But then I'm like, so you have this conversation with Christine and David, and then what? They break for an hour?
Yeah,
and then you find Robyn?
And then Robyn comes in the other door. Yeah, there's a lot of shuffling and logistics. They must have these PAs who are like, because shuffling everyone around.
Because every time they talk to someone, they've taken all the information from the other interviews. So I'm like, do you interview everyone for a 2-hour block and then you take all that information that you got and then rapid fire?
And then you have to do another round. There's multiple rounds.
Again. Yeah, there must
because
be.
You get more information the second round. You get the reactions, everyone's reactions to the information you gave them. And then there's another round of, you know, what their reactions were. And then I guess, you know, go back and forth a few times and then try to wrap it up. But what's frustrating about that is you might have commented about something at, you know, 9 a.m. and then now I got to talk about it again at 4 o'clock. And now we're back to this. Listen, maybe what we saw with Christine and David was it was like 6 o'clock and they were hangry and they were like, what do you need from us to let us go?
Okay. Yes. He broke bro code. We hate him. You know, goodbye. I'm kind of wondering now, like, did they finally just, okay, fine. What do you want us to be mad about this? Let's be mad about this. Great. Here we go. You know, we're mad. And maybe that's what it is. But the other thing was that Robyn talks about this. Robyn says about Meri paying the whole mortgage. Robyn's like, well, no, that's not, well, yeah, she paid the mortgage, but Kody did other things. He paid the insurance. He paid other bills. Other bills. Okay. Which I thought was real, but, and Meri's like, no, I paid the insurance. Again, I didn't know if she meant the home insurance or a different kind of insurance or what it was. But I think this is the other thing too, is what we're seeing is I think Kody comes back to Robyn and says, oh, don't listen to her. I've been paying this and this and this and this for her. So she doesn't know what she's talking about. And then
how would Robyn know? She didn't pay. She had no access. It was, I guess, Janelle and Kody.
So
paying bills.
And so that's a lot of how she's gotten her information is through Kody.
Yeah.
And do, you know, some of these things. So I don't know. It was just a little bit like, I think Robyn's crying because she's like, oh crap, who did I marry?
Yeah, I do think for once her tears did seem to be kind of real and sustained. You know, I mean, she was crying for a long time. There seemed to be kind of, you know, wiping tears, but I don't know. I think she's worried. I think she's worried about all of this and who she married and where they're at and how she's coming off. And like she says, I'm not him. I don't agree with all of his attitudes. And I don't think she does. I don't think she does. No, I think Robyn just Robyn doesn't thrive on this chaos and stuff like Kody does. You know, she
No.
wants to have just a nice, simple life, you know, be with her kids, buy her dolls, you know. She's really not that complicated.
Get the art, have the jewelry. Yeah. I also, what was I going to say? Oh crap. I just lost my train of thought. It was about Robyn. Oh, it'll come back to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is where when they start talking about the backdoor deal, I think Christine finally had something interesting to say, was like, this is the problem with the family. This was an issue. This is something Kody would do, is that he would collude with one wife. And I think he colluded with Janelle a lot, if you want my 2 cents, and decide what to do that was going to affect everybody else. And I also think that Christine knows a little bit more about this deal than she's saying, because she doesn't want to say anything negative about Janelle. But I think she knows that there's this dynamic between Janelle and Kody where the two of them get together, and and that there were some power things. And I think Christine doesn't want to upset Janelle, but I think Christine's probably thinking it in the back of her mind, like, yeah, they probably conspired. They probably figured out they couldn't do it, and then they moved on. You know, I think that with Janelle, the problem is that Janelle's sticking to this idea of like, oh no, there was no backdoor deal. And it's like, that's not what we're talking about. Did you ever propose it? That's the issue. Did you ever say it? Who said it? And who, and you both agreed to it. So if you're both agreeing and laughing, I just find it odd that Janelle just can't say, I was joking. I said, oh, we could have done this. And then we just laughed about it for a while. I didn't think he was going to take it seriously. And now this has become a storyline.
Well, she
know what I mean?
She said that she kept saying in her defense that she was just trying to figure out a way to get things done. You know, she didn't want to lose the buyer. She was just trying to get things done. And I think she was just, trying to humor Kody, joking with Kody. I don't know what Janelle's problem is, why she can't just say, you know, Kody took this joke a bit too far. And
I think this is what Kody does. And I think Kody, you know, I'm sure you've had this in friend groups where you have that friend where you really can't say anything to them, even something innocuous, even something like, oh, it's so funny, you look like blah, 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 today, or oh, this happened or that happened. And then you find out that they've repeated this thing that you said to them, like Tess said, blah, 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 to me. And then it goes around to this whole group and you're like, why do you need to share everything with everyone? Why do you need to tell everyone this was a conversation between the two of us, you know, and I just made a funny joke, or I just made a comment, or I did this or that. Like, why are you repeating this to 15 people? And I guess I think Kody does that. I think
he likes drama.
He's a gossip. He likes to gossip. Yeah. And so he got off that phone call with Janelle and he couldn't wait to run to tell somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think if he was in an office, he'd be telling his coworkers.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's part of the other problem too, is that these women were the only women he could gossip with. So I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
And all of this.
Yeah,
so
he does like to gossip.
Oh, yeah. So then we get into this whole thing about, is Robyn the moral compass of this family? And Kody says yes, that Robyn is the moral compass of the entire Kody Brown family. Meri had the most diplomatic response, which is, yeah, for her and Kody, probably. Yeah, sure. But not for the whole family. She's not my compass. I was like, oh, good for you, Meri. I think the fact that Meri is so calm and so centered is also driving Kody crazy. Because he's used to angry Meri or mad Meri or whatever it is. And so he's so angry. He's so used to being resentful towards her that now this new version is like, oh, crap.
Yeah, because he used to manipulate her with, you know, do this and I'll love you, or do this and I'll, you know, maybe hold your hand or something. And, you know, she would just do whatever. And now it's like he can't get her to do anything for him. Like, and she's not going to. And yeah, he's lost all control over her.
Yeah. Well, and they get into this with Meri, where Meri says, like, Robyn says, you know, I don't always agree with Kody and his attitude, but I have a strong moral compass because I don't believe in this kind of crap. And so Meri does this. Listen, she says this. She says, I wasn't always the best person, but I'm not a dishonest person.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope Robyn isn't a dishonest person. And Suki says, well, Robyn says she's never given you a reason to distrust her. And Meri's like, I disagree with that.
Mm.
Yeah, I just disagree with that. So anyway, and then this is where Suki says to Robyn, well, why didn't you say anything to Kody about what was going on? And she gets really angry. And she's like, he's my husband. I fought him where I could. If she knew she would have created more problems. I did what I could based on what Meri has done in our relationship. That Meri didn't maintain the relationship, so she's not going to be loyal to Meri over Kody.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. In these kinds of relationships, at some point you have to, isn't that really like the tenet of this relationship is being loyal to your husband? The sister wives are for the benefit of, the husband primarily. Everything's for the benefit of the husband. And they try to sell these women by saying, oh, you'll have these sister wives. It's like, but when push comes to shove, the man comes first.
Well, yeah. This is the thing that they've been selling women from the beginning of time is if you attach yourself to a man and make him your life, that will satisfy you personally. That will make you happy and give you a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And women are like, and now that we have financial freedom, we could be like, no, that's not true. Stop telling us that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop telling us that attaching ourselves to some man is going to be the end all be all of anything. Yeah. And then there's this whole thing about like, why was Robyn the last one to sign the Coyote Pass paperwork? I didn't understand this at all. And then Kody starts talking about how, well, I signed first, and then I thought Meri and Janelle were signing, and it just so happened that she wasn't down at the title company, blah, blah, blah. And, we got ourselves into this entanglement. He used the word entanglement a couple times. I'm like, he just learned this from Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah.
And I wrote myself a note. I'm so confused about what's happening right now.
Yeah, well, it was 4 months later or something that she signed. So, what was she holding out for? Was she was, what was this fair thing that she, I don't know. Because the other two women had said, I didn't understand it either. I don't know. I lost interest at that point.
Yeah.
I really lost interest. It's like, okay, I just truly don't care anymore. And I don't know, what are they going to do? What are they going to talk about for 2 more episodes?
I don't know. That's a very good question. Are we going to get 2 more episodes about Coyote Pass? I think the next couple episodes are going to be about the apology tour.
What more is there to say?
I don't know. The MVP of this, again, was Jen. Because Jen was in this a little bit, but every time she would be like, no, Meri, what do you think? What's going to, she's so good. Like if she feels Meri's kind of wavering a little bit, she's right there to.
Yeah. Why did they let her? Yeah. Why did she have to leave? Is she?
Oh yeah. It seems like maybe they wanted to talk to her.
They just wanted to talk to Meri alone, I guess, but no, Jen needs to stay. We need Jen. So, yeah.
Yes. Jen is the moral compass.
Jen is the moral compass of this family at this point.
Yes, yes. But yeah, and then that all leads back into the discussion that we already had about, the David and Christine stuff. And so I'm still have we answered any questions? Do we know anything else? No, I'm still confused about this quote unquote NDA. I don't even, I guess Meri didn't sign it, right? But so they gave that up. They were trying to make that a condition. Maybe it took Robyn 4 months to acquiesce to that. If she brought her that NDA at the last minute and Meri just refused to sign it and time's ticking and, Kody, I guess, pressured her enough to give it up. And
just sign and move on.
Well, and don't forget, they wanted to buy that house. They needed that money. They needed that money.
They couldn't wait.
So, and so I think really what it was I think it was this bargaining chip thing where I think they wanted to tell, I think, right. It was about the money that Meri put in.
Right. Which
the
is
house,
still unresolved, right?
Which is still unresolved. And I think that Meri was like, okay, we can make these two separate issues. But I think what Robyn and Kody were trying to do is let's lump them in. Let's get her to shut up about it. And then maybe hopefully she'll forget. Throw in the NDA and maybe she'll forget about it. And I think now they're like, oh crap, we need this money. We got to sign.
Right. So they still have to deal with Meri and her money.
And getting her that money. Maybe that's why they needed the $750,000.
Exactly. Maybe that's, that's what I'm thinking. I think since that aired or since that was filmed that they've settled with her. And, I mean, Meri, she was nice enough to at least let the sale go through. She could have held out and said, no, I'm not signing anything till every single issue in here is settled.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure she felt pressure, not only from Kody, but from Janelle too, because Janelle needed the money and wanted the money.
Yeah.
And, So,
I think hopefully next week we can move on to some other topics. There was one clip I saw where Suki asks Meri about Ron. There's that.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Trying to think of what else is what even happened. I don't know. Maybe they'll ask Janelle about Tata Farms or something.
That'll take an hour.
More like 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, what are we going to,
Although she did post on Instagram a picture of her house. From the outside, it looks finished. I don't know what it looks like inside, but it's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's bigger than
listen, she's just so happy it's done. It's actually there. Things are happening. I can imagine that part.
Yeah, good for her. But now she's going to have to get that second chapter program to be successple.
Yeah, I got another text this morning. I'm like, whoo, Janelle is working it. She is just really working it, trying to get people to buy into this second Chances Club.
What is she trying to get you to sign up for? Like, what do you
a webinar. So I signed up for that first webinar that I reported on the show. I can't remember which episode I talked about that, but I'm just going to my text messages right here. Hey, we're live right now. So I got this today at 8:15 in the morning. So she's 3 hours ahead. So it's like 11:15. Ladies in the second chapter of life, discover how to make the best years ahead your best yet. It's a little wordy, Janelle. Your time matters, and this hour is just for you. Join us here. Okay, so 11 a.m. Eastern.
But isn't it just going to be another sales pitch?
Yes, but you know what the best is? Typical Janelle. Wait, what time did I get this? I got the message at 8:15, but the thing started at 8.
Oh, good timing, Janelle. Oh boy.
This one too, I got the text at 5:11 and the thing was starting at 5. Every time. I'm just looking at this now. She always texts. Every time. And it's not even consistent. It's like sometimes it's 8:23, sometimes it's 8:05, sometimes it's 8:18. I mean,
but it's always after
it's always after the thing started. Not one of these. I'm just looking through because I've now gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 texts.
Wow.
So I attended one. So she's done 10 more. And I think she already did one before I went through. So this is a lot. This is a lot of her trying to sell this thing.
But when you did attend that one, was there any pitch like, hey, join
the whole thing was a pitch.
How much was it? Like, what were you signing up for?
So you're signing up for, I think it was a membership. So, there's different things. Some people do courses, some people do memberships. And so you pay this membership every month, much like a Patreon kind of thing where, and part of that is you get, for each month you get, and I think what she offers is, one group coaching call or maybe 2 group coaching calls, maybe a webinar or seminar on a particular topic, maybe, online resources, the community, access to Janelle, being able to talk to her, that kind of thing. So I want to say that the membership, I remember it being not that bad. I think it was like $400 for the year or something, which I didn't think was bad at all. There were a lot of people in the chat that were like, "Oh, that's a lot of money." And I think I think it's all relative to how much do you spend, how much do you spend on your personal growth? How much is that, and how much can you spend on your personal growth is another one. So, but I don't think that her Sister Wives audience is the right audience, but I think that's the one she keeps going to. I don't think that this is her, audience. So anyway, but like I said on the thing, I was trying to be very nice, but if you just attended that to get anything, you really didn't. There was nothing groundbreaking. She did not share anything groundbreaking. And that's one of my issues with all of these webinars is they're designed that way. They're all just airport pitches. It's just you're doing it in your own home. And I've done a couple of these and I just hated it. And I was like, oh, I'm not doing this anymore. This is stupid.
Well, also, I just don't find Janelle like that inspiring. It's kind of like, she's talking about the second chapter. Okay, first of all, I think that if all that stuff with COVID had never happened and the family was just sort of inching along, I don't think she ever would have left. It's not like she had this big revelation of, oh my gosh, I need to change my life and I'm going to leave this marriage and I'm going to start over. And, and I feel like nothing that she does is really intentional. She just sort of falls into these things. And how long has she been living this second chapter? A couple of years?
Not that long.
Yeah. And so, okay, what have you done? It's like, if I want to go down some path, I want to follow someone who's been there and done it and done a lot of work and, has inspiring, interesting, helpful things to say. And that's just not Janelle.
Yeah. I mean, I would even argue that like even the people who have done it, I think, yes, you need to at least show that you can walk the walk. But like I've said before, the problem with that is someone is successful doing one thing, one way that worked for them. And so then they go to everybody that I have the formula. Let me now give everybody the formula. And I'm sorry, I'm going to argue that the person that you should talk to is someone that has spent hour upon hour working with people from all different backgrounds and all different things, that has a sense of human nature and why people do what they do and how people react. And because when you work with people, you have to, especially in a group, right? You have to figure out, how do I get people to see this for themselves, not for how I see it.
Right.
And that's the hard part. That's the work. And then it's hard. It's easier to do it with one person. It's individual therapy is a lot easier than doing group coaching programs. I'm going to tell you that much.
Yeah. Cause you got to appeal to.
Well, yeah, you got to,
everybody.
And you've got to, you don't know everyone's situation so well. And so, anywho.
Oh, well, okay. Well, we'll see what happens next week.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us and thank you for being here. If you want more of us, please check out our Patreon where we, you get all these shows ad free and there's a weekly bonus and lots of other things. So go check us out. You can follow us on social media, subscribe to the podcast, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Those really do help us. What else? Tell a friend, spread the word of Psycholegal Pop wherever you go. And thank you so much for being here and for listening. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Hey guys, welcome to Giggly Squad.
A place where we make fun of everything, but most importantly, ourselves.
I'm Paige DeSorbo.
I'm Hannah Berner.
Welcome to the squad.
Giggly Squad started on Summer House when we were giggling during an inappropriate time.
But of course, we can't be managed.
So we decided to start this podcast to continue giggling.
We will make fun of pop culture news,
we're watching,
fashion trends, pep talks where we give advice,
mental health moments,
and games and guests.
Listen to Giggly Squad on Acast or wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.